In this video, we want to look at how to insert a citation and references into a document. We're going to look at how to insert the citation and reference for a book, for a chapter of a book, and for a scientific journal. So once you've got the information for your assignment and you've typed it up, you want to save where you got it. So when you do that in the text of the document, it's called a citation. So to cite where I got this information on macroinvertebrates from, I must click on the place where I want the citation to go. So here at the end of the sentence, I'm going to put the citation, make sure the cursor is flashing there. Then from the Home tab, you'll see File, Home tab, Insert, Draw, Design, Layout. You click on References. Around the center of the reference ribbon is a place called Insert Citation. Before you click on that, just check that the style is Harvard. If you click in the drop-down menu, you will see other options. For example, APA 6th edition. But we want Harvard, so click on Harvard. The cursor is flashing where I want it to go, and now we can insert our citation. So I'm clicking on Insert. I'm going to add a new source. You can see I have no options here. Nothing has been cited already, so add a new source. In this, I'm asked for the type of source. Currently, a report is highlighted, but I want to cite a book. So click on the drop-down menu, and I get a number of options, which are quite varied. Click on Book, and now I can put in the author of the book. Now it's important not to type the author in here, but first of all click Edit. And this is where I put the author's name. So the book I'm going to cite is by, the author was Brian Moss. So I put in his last name first. Be sure you use capital letters at the start. So Moss, his first name is Brian, so all I need to do is put in a capital B for Brian. I'm now going to click Add, and his name pops in here. If there was a second author to a book, again, I would type in the second author's last name here and their initials. If they had more than one, I'd just put the initials there. I'd click Add and their name would add in here. There's only one author, so I'm going to click OK. You can now see the name has been added here to the author list. The title of the book was Ecology of Freshwaters, Man and Medium. So I'll type that in the title. There's the title, Ecology of Freshwater, Man and Medium. The book was published in 1998, and it was published in Oxford. All this information is on the inside cover of the book, and the publisher was Blackwell. So I now have all of the information I need. That's sufficient for a book. It is a book. We've got the author, the title, the year it was published, the city it was published in, and who the publisher was. I can now go ahead and click OK. Now what's happened is this is the citation, which has appeared in the document. But all the other information about where it was published and the title isn't here in the citation. I now need to add a reference page. So I can scroll down through the document to the very end, press Return to go onto a new page, and here I can put in the references. To do this, I'll just click the Home tab again here just to explain how it works. Go across to References, Again, we come to where we saw insert citation, and beside it you can see this option, bibliography. We don't want a bibliography, we want a reference section. So click on this and go down until you see references. Select references. And what has happened is a reference section has been added with the author Moss, initial Brian, published in 1998, Ecology of Freshwaters, Man and Medium, published in Oxford by Blackwell Publishing. And there's our citation. We'll now go to the next part of our assignment on Ireland's mountains. I should have an apostrophe there. Ireland's mountains. And this was from a chapter in a book. And some books, the chapters are written by different people. So here at the end of this, we want to add a citation for the chapter of this book. I wrote the chapter, as it happens, so we're going to put in a citation. Again, make sure the cursor is flashing where you want the citation to go. I'll just go back here, bring it on the Home tab, which is where you're likely to have it. Again, come across to References. It's the same process. Make sure it's Harvard and click Insert Citation. This time, you'll see you have an option. Moss is there. If this was from another section of Moss's book, I could just click that and it would all pop in. I wouldn't need to retype it out. I'm adding a new source. This is not a book, it's a chapter in a book. So we go to Book section and select that. Again, the author of the section of the book or the chapter of the book needs to go in here. And to do that, we'll click on Edit. I wrote the chapter, so I'll put in my second name and the initial of my first name. Always make sure you use a capital letter here and a capital letter here. Click Add. Again, if there were more authors, I would just keep adding them. But there was only one, so I'll click OK. My name is now in. And the title of the chapter was Ireland's Mountain Environments. So there's the title of the chapter that I wrote. But the book title, the book it appeared in, was Irish Peaks. The year it was published was 2020, and it was from page 25 to 50. It was published in Dublin, and the publishers were Zest Publishing. So I've got all the information I need. Because it's a chapter in a book, it's important I put in the pages, because other people will have written different chapters than me. So click OK, and here I have Mansell 2020 in the citation. I just need to go down, scroll down to my references. I bring the cursor over references and click on it, and I get this option, Update Citations and Bibliography. Although it says bibliography, don't worry about that. Just click on it, and now my citation is in there. What it's also done, you might notice, is it's put them alphabetically. So MA comes before MO alphabetically. So it will always put your references alphabetically for you. That's the chapter title, and the book title is in italics. It's got the publisher, the city, and here, because it's a chapter, it's got the page numbers in it. So we've put in a book, cited a book, we've cited a chapter in a book, and now I'm going to cite this piece of information which I got from a scientific journal. Again, we'll scroll down and click where we want the citation to go. Make sure the cursor is flashing. I'll just click back to home just so that you know how to find the reference section. Go to the reference tab, click on Insert Citation. Again, make sure it's Harvard. And now you can see the previous citations we've put in. If I want to use one of those again, I just need to click on it and it goes in automatically. I don't need to type it again. But we're adding a new source. And this time it's a scientific journal, not a book section. So I'll click on the drop down. See there's book section, and a journal article. So I'll select that. Again, I need to put in the authors of the article. So click Edit. And this time we have two authors, Singh and Kushwaha. So the first author, Singh, their last name, and then this author has two initials. So it's capital J and capital S. We don't need to know what their full names are. We can just put in the capital. Even if you do know their full names, just put in the first initial. Make sure it's capital. Click Add. Now there was a second author, Kushwaha. So I'll put in that. And this author has two initials, which many authors use two initials. Click that. And they're in there. You can keep going for as many authors as there are. I'll click OK. The names have gone into the author section. Now I'll put in the title of the paper that was printed in the journal. So this is the title of the paper they wrote. And the title is Forest Biodiversity and its Conservation in India. Forest Biodiversity and its Conservation in India. Now the journal that appeared in was the International Forestry Review. Just make sure that's a capital for review. So we've got the author, the title of their paper, Forest Biodiversity and its Conservation in India. It was published in a journal called International Forestry Review, and it was published in 2008. Now, because it was in a journal, this paper was from page 292 to 304, and journals have volumes and issues. So it was in journal number 10, or sorry, volume 10, and it was issue 2. That's all the information I need. And all this information is usually at the start of the paper and the journal. And I will show you in class how to find that information on a paper. That's what you need. So we click OK. And after all that typing, all we get is Singh and Kushwaha, 2008. Again, we go down to our reference page. We click Reference and we update the citations, and it pops in alphabetically. It's got both authors, the year, the title, and the title of the journal in italics, the volume 10, issue 2, and page number 229 to 304. So that's how we insert a citation and a reference for a book, a chapter of a book, and a scientific journal. Be sure you then save your assignment in more than one place, maybe on a memory disk and someplace in the cloud. We will look at other options for adding headings and contents page in later videos.